Okay. So, I'm so glad you're here. I look forward to this every week, so I'm really excited to go through another nice little class. Before we get started, as we're settling in, whenever I settle in, like my first thought is, I'm going to move the fleshy parts of my bottom to the side so that I'm more connected to the earth. It's just what I do automatically. But before we really begin, I am going to be using some stuff today. So I have a block, and for the very end of class, you could use a bolster. We'll be doing a reclined posture, but I'm using this one personally, but if you had a bolster or if you had a pillow that you want to use, you could grab that. And last but not least, have a yoga strap, but if you have a belt or something else that you could use, we have a posture where we're going to be stretching our arms behind our backs, and this can help us. So if you have those three things, that could really help. So a belt or a yoga strap, a bolster, or maybe a support, something like this, or a pillow. You don't have to have an actual official bolster. And then a block. All right, so we'll just start settling in. Hopefully you are joining me on the mat. And as you arrive physically and mentally, I invite you to find your Sukhanasana, your easy seat, whatever is comfortable for you. And welcome to the practice. So in our easy pose, our Sukhanasana, take a few minutes to really arrive. So you physically have sat down. Let's try to breathe into this moment. Naturally, pay attention to your inhale and your exhale. Today's practice, we're going to be focusing on our shoulders, upper arms, upper back. We're also going to be focusing on joy. I come back to this very often because I think joy is a really underrated focus in our lives. So I want to encourage you to think about an intention today, something that brings you joy. I want your intention to just be to think about that piece of joy. Maybe carry that intention with you for the rest of the week. My joy, gardening, for example. When I turn off my phone and I'm away from my computer, I'm just in the garden, pulling weeds, watering, picking my vegetables, eating the vegetables right there. That brings me so much joy. So my intention through this practice today, I'm going to come back, just keep thinking about the joy I have when I garden. And when I leave the practice today, I'm going to remind myself, spend some time gardening to bring that joy back. Holding on to that intention of joy. Go ahead and we're going to breathe. Take 3 deep breaths. As we inhale, I want you to imagine and feel your head becoming lighter, floating up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, exhale your shoulder blades down your back. Take a second breath. Inhaling our chest up, our throat chakra opening. And exhale, our tailbone becomes heavy. Our sits bones become heavy. Take one more deep breath. Really filling our lungs. Really feeling everything expand. And we'll exhale loudly, releasing everything out. We'll take our intention of joy into some ear to shoulder rolls. We'll take keeping our neck nice and long this entire practice. Right ear to our right shoulder won't completely meet. And then roll our chin toward our chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Keeping our neck nice and straight, moving back over to the right. We'll do this 3 times. Once more, chin to chest, left ear to shoulder, and pausing in the center. We'll go back the other way. This time, let's pay attention to our breath. Inhaling, then exhale, dropping the left ear toward the left shoulder. Chin to chest, rolling to the right. And inhaling, right ear to right shoulder and back to center. And exhale as we come through the other direction. Be very gentle with your neck. And once more. Awesome. Coming back to our center. Maybe you want to shake it out, get a little movement going. We're going to do some cat cows, and I won't move back all the way. I'm just going to move my supplies. Use those later. I'm going to stay close in the frame. But from our seated position, I'm going to roll into our neutral. Remember, wrists are under shoulders, knees are under our hips, feet are pressing into the floor, fingertips are pressing into, feel it all the way in the upper back. We'll do some cat cows. So just moving my angle here, but in our cat cow, remember, we'll inhale to come up and exhale, pushing back into our calf. Belly button to the spine, really arcing our shoulders. Inhale, our chest drops and opens, our belly button dropping toward the floor. Throat is open. And exhale, pushing back. Hello, kitty. Pushing back into our cat, halloween cat. Oh, right on cue. Good job. Let's do 2 more on your own pace, breathing and moving. And meet me back in our neutral. Okay, so in our neutral spine here, knees under hips, wrists under our shoulders, we're going to do a thread the needle. So let's do the first one. We're going to go to the right. So my weight's going to go on the left hand, and I inhale my right hand up toward the ceiling, twisting at my core. And then exhale, diving my right hand under left armpit, right ear and shoulder to the ground. Breathe here for a moment. If you'd like to add in a bind, inhale your left hand up and exhale behind your back, reaching your left fingertips toward your right thigh, really opening up your shoulder. So my left shoulder is pulling toward the camera. So I'm opening that chest. One more breath and gently unwind wherever you are at and come back to our neutral pose. We'll do the same thing, but on the other side. So now this time the weight will go onto the right hand. Inhale that left hand up, twisting at our core, not at our shoulders. Fingertips toward the sky. And exhale, diving fingertips under the right armpit, left ear, left shoulder to the ground. Breathe. Now, if you'd like that bind, inhale your right hand up and exhale it behind your back and towards your left thigh. Remember to keep that shoulder moving back, opening up your chest, breathing into it. Take one more breath, inhale, and exhale. Release your bind or release wherever you're at. And coming back to our neutral. All right. Now here we're going to move into a hero pose. In the hero pose, I'm going to sit back onto my heels. Knees are bent to the side here. It's a little hard to see with my black pants, but my knees are bent. I'm sitting on my heels. Hero pose can also be out to the side if that feels good on your knees. My knee's still recovering, so I'm going to sit straight on it. So from here, we're actually going to do some eagle arms. So sitting in our pose, inhale. I'm going to start with my left arm under my right elbow. Match my hands. And now inhale, my elbows up. And exhale, my shoulder blades down. As we breathe, all parts of your body are active. Keep your core active, pulling the belly button toward the spine. Breathing into your shoulders. Feeling your feet are active too. You might even want to wiggle your toes, make sure they're awake. Inhale, see if you can lift your elbows just a little bit more. And exhale, release. To stretch out in between, we'll do a little puppy pose. Forearms down. Stretching back, almost like a child pose, but we're on our knees. Breathe here for a moment, just relaxing those arms. And let's come back up to our hero pose. Now we'll do eagle on the other side. So if we started this direction, now I'm going to have my right arm under my left elbow, matching my hands. If you can't quite get there, that's okay. Get them close, that's fine. Matching hands. Inhale, raising our elbows up to chin level or as close as we can. Exhaling, shoulders down our back. Continue to breathe, and just like before, make sure your feet are active. I'm moving around. Your core is active, pulling that belly button to spine. Breathing into this. Breathing into your shoulders. Take one more inhale and gently untwine, release. Let's go ahead and do one more puppy pose. Forearms down, scooting our knees back just a little bit and reaching back. Feel the breath. Feel your toes. I like to curl my toes a little bit, just get a little action in there. All right, and now let's come back up. And from here, move back just a little bit. To push through into our first down dog. In this down dog, this is the first one. If you want to walk it out a little bit or just really focus on trying to push your heels down today. Maybe we're not as limber as we normally are. Really pushing our fingertips toward the upper back. Release our neck, release our head. Breathing, and let's slowly walk up between our hands. I'm going to move over to the side just so I can stay in frame. But from here, hanging down. Now you might be using your block here. So that's one of the reasons I kept my block handy. that you can just hang wherever is comfortable, your shins, your block. Breathing into that fold, keeping your knees gently bent. And now if you'd like, you could also add in a bind. Taking your hands behind your back, clasping your hands, and letting the hands fall toward your head. Keep those arms active, pushing back just a little bit if that feels comfortable. Anything that doesn't feel comfortable, make sure you back out of. Take one more deep breath here. And release that bind, hanging down. And now let's stand up vertebrae by vertebrae. Great. So we'll do some, we're going to do some sun salutations. We'll do 3 passes. The first 2 will be our normal sun salutations, and the third will be a little variation. So let's go ahead and begin, shall we? So let's stand in our mountain pose. Really getting the weight into our feet, feeling all 4 corners of our feet taking on our weight, fingertips shooting down, chest is opening, shoulders are down the back. And let's inhale, arms up overhead to extended mountain pose. Exhale, hinging at the hips, diving forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, planting your hands. And for this first one, let's step back into plank. It's our first plank, so let's take a moment here. Adjust your palms under your shoulders. Belly button to spine. Back is strong. Heels are shooting energy back. And inhale and exhale, slowly lower down. Let's lower down all the way. From here, we'll do a very gentle cobra, very baby cobra. Pushing through our fingertips, raising our chest up and opening that chest for an inhale, and exhale, lower down. Now we'll move through plank, back into our down dog. Look between our hands, and you can step or hop between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale to come all the way up to our extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Do that one more time, but pick up the pace a little bit. So in mountain, inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, neck is strong. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands and hop or step back into plank. Inhale and exhale, slowly lower down and then come up to up dog, chaturanga to up dog, pressing back into our down dog. Look between your hands, step or hop between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, neck is strong. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to come all the way back up and exhale, hands to heart. Breathe it out. We'll do this one more time, but I have a couple variations to add in. Mountain pose. Inhale to extended mountain pose. Exhale, hinging at the hips, diving down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, and step or hop back to plank. From here, inhale and slowly lower all the way down. This time, we'll take our forearms, press the forearms and our palms onto the ground, onto our mat, and inhale gently for a little sphinx. Shoulders are rolling down, chest is open, pressing into our hips, our knees, the tops of our feet. And one more time, inhale and exhale, lower down. Plant your hands beside you, and let's press through plank into downward facing dog. From down dog though, let's come down into a dolphin. So that's just on our forearms. Hips are up. We're pressing back. Now you could stay right here. But if we push our heads back more toward our elbows, get a little bit more of that stretch. Now you can stay here or clasp your hands together, make a little diamond, and we'll do some Dolphin Planks. Just do 3. So that was 1. Inhale and exhale, moving the head and the chest over the hands and forearms. Pressing back. We'll do 1 more if it feels good. And then 1 more. All right. So press back up into our down dog. Look between our hands and step or hop between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale to come all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Awesome. Hopefully you are breathing a little heavily. We can get started into our next motion. All right. So top of the mat, standing here in our mountain pose. Let's get our weight onto our left foot. And the left foot takes that weight. You feel the weight on all parts of the foot, all 4 corners. Let's inhale out, right knee up slowly, activating your core, activating your hips. Make sure your hips aren't up too high, they're balanced. And then let's go ahead and exhale into a warrior 2. In warrior 2, check your posture. Inhale and exhale, pull those pinkies back toward the wall, away from you. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale, see if you can sink just a little lower. Now you can stay here or you can join me in a half moon. From here for a half moon, we just bring our weight onto our left foot. I'm going to move this block over here and just use the block as well today. It's a block kind of day for me. Woo! To learn how to use the block. And we inhale that right fingertips toward the sky, right toes toward the back of the room, the back of the mat. Activating your core. Breathing. Take 1 more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. As we step back, we're going to step back into a high lunge. High lunge, your hips are facing forward, arms are up overhead, and I invite you to take a bind behind your back. Hands clasped near your tailbone, and you'll inhale and exhale, pushing the hands toward the mat, toward your tailbone. Really opening your chest. Breathing into your chest, breathing into your shoulders. Take 1 more inhale and exhale. Release your bind. Now I'm going to move my left foot over just a little bit. Inhale my arms up overhead and exhale, dive my hands down to the mat. Left hand is now on the inside of my left foot. Right hand is beside it. Lower down that back knee. Now stay here, breathing with the chest open, or exhale, lower down onto the forearms to get a little extra stretch in that hip. You can stay here or inhale your left fingertips toward the ceiling into a twist. Take 1 more inhale and exhale. Plant your left hand and your right hand on the mat. Raise up that back foot. Scoot the left foot into center. And we're going to come up into a crescent pose. Inhale, stretching that back leg out. See if your hips can go a little deeper. We're going to try another twist again from here. Inhaling and exhaling, diving the right hand next to the left foot, twisting those left fingertips toward the ceiling. Right leg is nice and straight. Left leg is really active. Breathe into that core. One more breath, inhale and exhale. You can plant your hands and see if you can step the right foot to meet your left foot. All right, shake it out a little bit and we'll go ahead and get started on the other side. So now this time, paying attention to all your weight on your left foot. All that weight is going to go into the right foot. Wow, I repeated it twice and I was wrong. All the weight into the right foot. Inhaling the left knee up, really activating the core, keeping our hips nice and balanced, shoulders down, chest is open. Inhale and exhale, stepping back into a warrior two. In our warrior two here, remember we're inhaling and exhaling, pulling those pinkies. So I'm pulling my pinkies toward the camera, should be pulling those pinkies out. Inhale, maybe exhale, see if you can go a little deeper, keeping those arms pulling back. Now you're welcome to stay here or join me in a half moon. I'm going to use my block again just for fun. Weight shifting onto my right foot. Hand either goes to the floor, to your mat, or to your block. Left leg is nice and straight. Left fingertips toward the sky. Use the wall if you need to, just like I did. If you are in the half moon, keep your toes active, keep your core active, and breathe. Take one more deep breath. And exhale, letting your left foot fall back as carefully as you can. We'll be in our high lunge. So this time, hips are facing forward. Arms up overhead. Do a little gentle back bend here. You can release. Grab your hands behind your back if you would like, or you can just stay in this high lunge. If your hands are in the bind, pull the inhale and exhale, pulling those fingertips down toward the mat, down toward your tailbone, opening your chest, breathing. Take one more deep breath in and exhale, release. You can move your right foot over 2 scoots. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, plant your hands on the mat. This time, my right hand is just on the inside of my right foot. I'm going to lower my left foot down and stay here breathing into a lizard pose, or go a little deeper with forearms down on the mat. Try to keep your knee active. Don't let it flop over. Now you can stay wherever you are, or inhale, do a little twist here. It's kind of like a warm-up twist or a later twist. Right fingertips are toward the ceiling, really pressing into your left forearm. Awesome. Inhale, plant, and exhale, plant your hands back on the mat. Scoot your right foot back in front of you. Now, right hand is on the outside of your right foot. Let's get your back leg active. I'm going to step up into a crescent. So really low hips. Hips are still facing forward. I'm going to try a revolved crescent on this side as well. So inhale and exhale, dive the left hand down beside your right foot, right fingertips shooting up toward the sky. Keep that back leg active, twisting at that core. One more deep inhale and exhale. Release your hand back to your mat and See if you can step forward, left foot joins the right. Okay, we should be in a little bit of a forward fold here. I'm gonna shake out my legs a little bit and inhale, slowly rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Awesome. Before we get into our next section, let's take a step so that our feet are a little bit wider than hip distance. And we're going to dive forward, hinging at the hip, into a wide-legged forward fold. And now you can, of course, as I said before, use your block to hold you up here, keeping the integrity of your back, or hang loose. If you're here, wherever you are, try to shake your shoulders out a little bit. Keep your knees gently bent. I invite you to grab your elbows, maybe rock side to side, right to left. Awesome. All right. And from here, let's plant our hands on the mat, bend our knees, and we're going to come back to that hero pose that we did earlier. All right. So in this hero pose, this time, we're going to actually get that belt or the yoga strap, if you have it. We're going to do some binds behind the back. Try to show you the best that I can with a camel pose in between. All right, so we're going to try to grab, looking at the camera, trying to do this is very difficult. Your left hand over your left shoulder toward your right hand, which is under the right shoulder, and you can reach toward your fingertips. If you don't quite make it, that's all right, but that's also what our strap or our belt is for. All right, so trying that same thing. See if you can hold on to that strap and reach toward your hand if you can't quite make it. So right hand is under your right shoulder, left hand is on top of your left shoulder. And of course, if any of this does not feel comfortable, definitely back out. Take one more deep breath in and exhale, releasing your bind, shaking your arms out a little bit. And before we do the other side, we're going to do a little camel pose. Rising up on your knees, taking your hands, we'll start by pressing into our lower back, doing a gentle back bend. Whatever feels right. If this doesn't feel quite good, you can always stay right here. At whatever angle is good. You want to go a little further, you can. This is feeling good. What about reaching back toward your heels? Opening your chest, opening your throat, keeping the integrity of your shoulders and your neck. Wherever you're at, breathe into this little back bend. Inhale and exhale. Let's come back out as gracefully or as ungracefully as you can. And we'll come back to our hero pose. So let's try the other side. So now, right hand had been under my right. Now I'm going to have right hand over my right shoulder. Left hand is under my left shoulder. And what's funny is, you might notice this too. On this side, I'm much more flexible. You might be that same way. Maybe you're not flexible on either side. That's okay. Remember to use that strap if you would like to use that strap. Strap just helps to close out that distance between your hands. Keeping your chest open, breathe into that stretch, breathe into this posture. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Release your bind. Let's come back. Okay, so now we can come back into a seated position. Release your legs. And on our mat, reach our legs out. We're going to do a reverse plank. We're going to take our hands, pointing the fingers toward our hips. Legs are stretched out. And we'll press up, our hips up. Knees are active. They should be still kind of bent, a little bit bent. Your core is active. Your shoulders are active. Open up your throat. Open up your chest. Breathe as long as you can. If you fall out, it's okay. Come back in. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale, lower down. I don't know if you can hear my cat, but he's very upset about that particular posture. I'm not really sure why. Let's try that posture one more time though. I kind of want to see if I can make him angry. Remember, fingertips towards your hips. Feet are active, knees are slightly bent, but everything's active as you push up your hips up toward the sky, really keeping your shoulders active. Don't let your neck crunch down. You're gonna come help. One more breath. And exhale, lower down. All right, from the seated position, keeping our legs nice and straight. Let's inhale our arms up overhead and exhale, gently reaching toward our toes. Remember, as always, you could be at your shins, you could be at your ankles, you could be grabbing your toes, but wherever you're at. Inhale, chest open. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Remember, keeping the integrity of your body, reaching towards your toes. Do one more. Inhale, your spine nice and long. And exhale, reaching toward the toes. Wherever you're at is where you should be. All right, inhale, shake your legs out. We're going to go for a little spine roll. So I know we're working on our backs. So I'm going to lower back down. I'm going to hug my knees into my chest. We're going to do some spine rolls here. So I'm going to roll forward as though my feet are going toward the earth, and then roll back. Do this maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 times. See how many vertebrae you can pop. Protect your neck while you do this. If you can get up onto your shoulder blades, great, if that feels good. All right, wherever you're at, do one more. And then we'll stop with our back on the ground. Let's grab our hands onto our feet. I guess grab our feet. We'll do some happy babies. So with the happy baby, grabbing your feet, right? And pulling your knees in toward the mat. And we'll do a little rock side to side. If that's not feeling good for you, don't do it. Just hold on to your happy baby. Rolling back and forth could help to your lower back maybe too. And if your upper back hurts, sometimes it's directly connected to your lower back. Do 2 or 3 more happy baby rolls. Sounds like sushi. And we'll come back to center. All right. From here, we're going to stretch out our left leg. Right leg is bent. Take our left hand and pull the right knee over to the left. Stretch your right arm over to the right and gaze over at your right hand. Breathing into your spine. can always put a block under your right knee if you need a little bit of extra support. All right. Inhale, exhale, coming back into the center. And we'll do the other side. Stretch the right leg out. Left leg is bent. Right hand guides the left knee over to the right. Left hand reaches out. Left. Let your eyes gaze over at your left hand. Pay attention. Do you notice anything different between your right side and your left side? No judgment, just making an observation. What do you notice? Breathe into that spine. Take one more deep breath. Exhale, rolling onto your back. All right. So from here, this is where if you have your bolster, I would grab your bolster. So for me, I'm going to use my funny little shaped back block. And you could even have a block for your head as well. Placing the bolsters that we're supporting our lower back and our upper back. And if you wanted to use a pillow, 2 pillows, maybe a higher pillow for your head, I'm going to pull my feet into a cobbler's pose, Balasana, our butterfly, without reaching our feet, just letting our knees fall open and find yourself in a comfortable position. If you'd rather not use a bolster and just lay here in supine, you're more than welcome to do that. Take a moment here to just breathe, observing how the back feels, observing our breath. You can have your hands just on the sides or on your legs. You start to pay attention to the world around you. What's the temperature like in your room? Are there any noises nearby? Think about how your back feels right now. Just make observations, no judgment. You can feel your body become a little heavier here. Let's take a nice deep breath in and then exhale. And we'll do a moment here that if you would like to stay in this posture, you're welcome to do so. Or if you would like to join me in corpse pose without our support, gently remove those supports and meet me. Lower down, legs stretched out, hands resting beside you. Whatever position, if you decide to stay in our supported supine Balasana, if you would like to be if you'd like to be in corpse pose, wherever you are. A nice deep breath in and then an exhale, feeling your body become heavy. Feeling your head become a part of the mat. Start to listen to your breath. Your feet melt into the floor. breathing gently. If you'd like to remain in corpse pose or in Balasana, welcome to stay there. If you'd like to join me for a closing, start to wiggle your toes, your fingers, bat your eyelashes. Give yourself a smile. In your own time, curl to the side. When you're ready, join me in seated position. I'd like to invite you to join me in one last breath work before we say goodnight. If we started our practice by thinking about what are the things that bring us joy, we're going to seal our practice with the breath of joy. The breath of joy is a 3-part breath. You can do this seated, you can do this kneeling in a chair or standing. Whatever feels good to you, whatever feels right. 3 parts of one breath. We've done this before if you followed. We'll practice one together. This time we're going to add some arms into it. We inhale into our belly. We inhale into our solar plexus. And then we inhale into our chest. And then we exhale all the way out, holding forward. Come back up and we'll try that one more time. Actually, 2 more times. Inhale into belly. Inhale into chest. Inhale into our upper chest. And exhale loudly, bending forward. Try one more time. Inhale belly. Inhale solar plexus. Inhale upper chest. And exhale. And we'll come back up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me in the practice today. I feel much more joyful just being with all of you. So thank you so much for joining, and namaste.